Okay, I've got another video coming up here for you. We're going to pick up pretty much where we left off the other day. Now, there's a little bit of footage that I'd taken that I forgot to put in that last video that I uploaded. Look, I try to keep the videos around 20-25 minutes. I just don't want them to drag out too long. So I'm going to put a bit of that stuff in, but basically we're picking up where I said that I was going to go and pick up seats and seat rails and things. So I've got some seat rails, universal seat rails sitting right here that I picked up. So that's them there, so we'll get them out in a minute and have a good look at them. The seats. Now if I look like an invalid trying to unload these seats out of my car, it's just that my shoulders are a bit sore. I was having just problems with one shoulder, but wouldn't you know it, I thought, well, I've got one good shoulder still, so then it started playing up as well. So we've got these seats out of a BRZ Subaru. Now I'll lay them down to fit them in the car. Bring them back up a bit, and I'll give you a bit of a story on these in a minute. Well, they were actually a lot easier to get out of the car than what they were to put in. Just close the car up. I don't like to leave car doors open and boots open. Around here you're liable to end up with a red belly black or a, even worse still, a brown snake crawl in while you're not looking. The last thing I want is to be driving down the highway and find I've got a snake rattling around the floor, around the feet. Okay, so I've gone with these BRZ seats out of a BRZ Subaru, as you can see right there. So I think I may have mentioned previously I had been looking at seats out of a Ford Focus ST, I think it was. They have a Recaro seat in them, and there were some that I had my eye on, and I was waiting just till the price dropped a little bit, but unfortunately someone must have got in ahead of me. But in my having a look at Marketplace, I saw these BZR seats, and I think they look very much like a Recaro, and I wouldn't mind betting even that maybe Recaro, maybe they're made by Recaro or something, I don't know. But I had been looking at, there's a mob called Auto Technica that do basically a copy of the original Shield seat. But I'd read some people online comments that they'd made that they weren't a very comfortable seat. And so I thought, oh well, I don't, because you know they're reasonably cheap, reasonably priced seat. But I thought, well, there's no good if they're cheap and they're, you know, not nice, not comfortable, because as I've said, you know, I want this to be a driver. I want to drive it. I want it to be comfortable. And there was a few other things, you know, as you know, when Facebook and Google are always spying on you when you're looking at things, they bring up suggestions and whatnot. So I think it was on my Facebook page. I had a couple of other mobs come up. There's a mob at Capella Bar down the Bayside of Brisbane. And they do Recaros like this. They've got a few different designs, but there's one there that probably looks a bit similar to this, and they were selling them for about $600 odd. And I just thought, well, you know, a Recaro seat's, you know, usually in the thousands, so they've got to be copies or you know, whether they're Chinese knockoffs or something, I don't know. So again, I just didn't want to go spending the money and find again that they weren't a really good quality seat. And I picked these up for $300 for the pair. They don't have the runners on the bottom of them, so I bought the universal runners, so they cost me $130 for the pair. So it's a good cheap pair of seats, so I'm going to be able to get them in, get them set up, and look, if something better comes along, well then I can grab them. But if they work out, look, they might be fine. They feel very good to sit in. And yeah, you know, like it'd be great to have some of the genuine RS2000 shields, but they don't come off very often. When they do, they're worth a fortune. But I suppose, you know, to get the original look of the car, it could be worthwhile buying some if they do come up, getting them recovered. But anyway, so we'll get into this video now. So that's the seat mounting brackets. This is just the passenger side. I've sat them, that's pretty much where they sit by the marks that are on the floor. Okay, so what I've done, I've just sat these couple of pieces of timber in the floor there, just so I can sit the seat on it and get a bit of an idea for height. I don't know whether I'm going to have to lift them up a little bit higher. So you can see that's sitting pretty much level with where the front mounts are, and this here, it's just a very slight bit, just sitting slightly higher, but that's all right. It just gives me a bit of a rough idea for when I'm going to start making up some runners and the brackets to hold the runners and things. Okay, I've got that seat sitting in on those couple of bits of timber that I put in the car. So it actually, the height of it actually looks pretty good. I've put a couple of stands underneath the car just to take the weight of fatso getting in, because I thought I was going to have to lift these seats up quite a bit to get them to fit right, but I think that's fine, and actually the seat feels absolutely perfect. I think I might have got onto a good thing here. So to fabricate some runners, to fabricate some mountings for the runners. I'm going to leave the fitting of the seats right here, and we'll pick it up again in the next video. There's the fabricating of the brackets that are going to attach underneath the seats, which the runners attached to, and then the refitting of the original seat mounts to the floor. So we'll do that. And so yeah, I'm just going to get back to some footage that I didn't get in the last video. There's the welding in of the mounting for the electric fuel pump in the boot floor, and also the bracing that goes in the tunnel underneath. You would have noticed at the end of the last video that was in place. So I've got the footage of me putting that back in, and also the driver's side engine mount fabrication. There was just a little bit of footage that I didn't get in that last video, so we'll look at that too. We'll back over to the untidy bench and see what we've got here. An envelope has arrived. So this is the base for the electric fuel pump setup in the boot. Okay, so I also, what I noticed, a couple of welding for the bonnet pins to screw into, and somehow I shouldn't order things when I'm busy. I wanted 2 of these, and somehow I only ended up ordering 1, but anyway. So this thing here, might have to give it a bit of a sandblast. It's got a bit of rust on it, but that goes in the boot right about there, as far as I'm aware. I think that's about the position for it, so we can get that welded in. So we'll see if we can get ourselves a nice neat weld there. Well, I've just spent a bit of time modifying this brace that I took out of the tunnel. It used to sit pretty well where this rear gearbox mount's sitting now, so it's going to sit behind that. And honestly, between this great big unit here and this, I think it's going to be far stronger than probably what it ever used to be. So that goes in like so. I've got a couple of self-drilling screws here that I'm going to hopefully get that to sit nice and tightly up in the housing here. Yeah, that looks like it's done the job nicely. Okay. And so you'll notice I've got my nice new welding helmet on, and it's just so much superior to that other one that I was using. It's not funny. So anyway, I'll find my little hammer to just tap that up. Okay, get a couple of spots on that. Yeah, so like I say, this new welding helmet is just so good. You can just see the weld so clearly. And as you know, I've said, you can just see the pool of weld so clearly. Okay, so I'll pop those couple of screws out now. Yeah, well, I've got that in there now. So I'll just put a bit of this on those welds, keep a bit of rust at bay. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, I'm trying to get everything done that needs to be done so that I can get that coat of paint on the underside here, the Raptor coating, and so I'm just welding in those captive nuts into the chassis rail. Beautiful. Okay, just tidy up those with the sander. If I can find what I've done with my other glasses. Now I know I could grind with that helmet on, but I prefer to use these glasses here. Probably be good if I put my earplugs in, seeing as I'm already half deaf. Or should I say probably about 90% in one ear and 50% in the other. Okay, that's that. Never seem to have enough power cords. I know I've got another one here somewhere. Just gotta find the end of it. Okay, I think one of those is quite good, but I'm not sure if the other one is a little bit close to the threads. Yeah, that one's fine. Oh, that one's fine too. But I do have my thread tap here on the end of the drill, and I might just give it a bit of a Okay. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so now I'm just going to clean this all up a bit and give it a coat of the copper spray. And then I think we're about ready to weld that in place. Okay, so I'm welding in the reinforcing on the chassis rail for the engine mount. On this is the driver's side. I did the passenger side the other day. Basically, when I finished doing the passenger side one, I was so thoroughly disgusted with the way the welds look. That is why I went and bought the new welding helmet. And let's go. I think this is going to make a massive improvement to the way what my welds look. Well, the new welding helmet has made an incredible difference to that weld. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this video. So I'm just rerunning the same footage that was in the last one. The heater bubble, I probably won't get that till the video after the next video. The next video will be the mounting of the seats. And then look, you know, hopefully we can actually get to putting some paint under the car. I think we're pretty close to that now. So here we see now these things, I've shown all the footage for that brace going in, the engine mounts going in. And so now, if you've liked this video, like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video where we get into those seat bases. Thanks for watching.